Is it torkover? Okay, I started it. It's called It's Torkover because I died with the half
Oh
mask.
my, it's Tarkover. And a rat. Wait, it says Tarkovin Solo Volo.
What? That's the other stream from before.
What?
This is a different stream.
Oh
Is it?
yeah, it's Tarkover. Yeah.
It's Tarkover. Okay, so like I've been reading this book called Mushoku Tensei before I go to bed, and it's like I wouldn't say it's peak fiction, but actually not. It's kind of peak fiction. Like it's getting there. If it pulls it off correctly, I would call it peak fiction. Like, but I'm only a little bit of the way through. Like maybe a third, no, like a quarter. Yeah, a quarter to a third. So the story originally left off when okay, I'm hearing myself. Hold on, I'm gonna. Where's that coming from? Okay. Anyways, the where did I last end off? Oh yeah, reuniting with the father. He reunites with the father, and they make up, and then they're off on their adventure again, and then they get into some shenanigans. Um. Oh yeah. So he's trying to save his family, the main character, because they've all been scattered across the land, and he needs to find where they went after the teleportation incident. Right. That's what caused them to all get separated. And then he finds the maid of the household, which is also his father's second wife, you know, because he knocked her up and married her afterwards. Yeah, a little bit not ideal for this man, but she finds the maid, and this is the maid that he saved from pretty much dying earlier. Remember when he cheated on the maid? I cheated on the wife with the maid. The the wife threatened to like pretty much send her out of the house when it's still winter, which would pretty much secure her death. But Rudius intervened, so that didn't happen. And this maid feels like she owes him a lot, and he's like a genius, and like yeah, pretty much she reveres him. And so she decided like, oh okay, I'm gonna raise my daughter to be a maid to Rudius, the main character. Right? Like when she grows up, she will serve him. And then she starts talking about how wonderful he is, like how smart, all these great things he's done. And of course, the daughter is like kind of suspicious, and she thinks he's a pervert because she found a box with panties in them. That is the main character's. Like he kept the panties of his mentor for magic in a little box, and that was his treasure. And she found it, and she's like, "Okay, my brother's a pervert. Like I'm not gonna serve this guy." Right. So the main character uh goes to the city. This is present day, and then he finds out that the maid and her daughter are trapped in the palace of the city because they were suspected as spies when they were teleported there randomly, right? Because it's kind of suspicious having two random people just show up in the middle of the palace. And they've been trapped there for the past like 2 years. So while he's trying to rescue them, he encounters the daughter of the maids, and he acts like he's someone else, right? Like he pretends to be this other person and hides his identity as her brother because he doesn't want her to think like, oh, he's like a he's not worth listening to, you know, like I'm gonna go off because I don't want to listen to him, right? Because that would be bad. Because he still needs to find her mother. He doesn't know where the maid is in the castle yet. So he takes care of her, saves her from some guards, treats her kindly, all that, trying to uh, show her that he's not all that bad, like she thinks she is, uh, like that she's mistaken. And hmm, so basically, a bunch of things happen, and then he ends up saving the maid too. Uh, it's kind of like a funny series of events, but it's important for a setup of the future. But I'm not going to mention it because it's not really that important. But basically, they save the maid, yippee, and then they're going to leave to the next town to go back home, like continue their journey. But before the journey ends, I mean, before they set off on their journey, they um they're saying goodbye to the maid and her daughter and everyone else in the town. And then the maid's daughter runs up to him, and then she's like, "Mister, like, I don't want to serve my older brother when I grow up. Like, I want to serve you instead." And then he's like, "No, like, no, you don't need to do that. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, just did your mother tell you to say that? Like." And then he's like insistent that she couldn't, right? And the because he knows like he doesn't want her to just follow him around and serve him because her mother raised her like that. Like it's a little bit undeserved. And then she's like, "Oh, like, but like I really like you. Like you're so kind and brave. Like unlike my big brother." And then and then like my big brother who's like a pervert, right? And not you. And then right, so he's like, okay, like uh, but he's like, no, basically. He's like, no, but the daughter keeps insisting. So she's like, okay, but if my brother is dead, like if he turns out to be dead after the teleportation incident, then maybe can I serve you in the future? Like, do you really hate me that much? And then he's like, okay, fine. Like, if he's dead, then you can serve me. Like he's saying this because he's not dead. Like he is the brother, right? So it's like pretty much a no, but like he's saying that he doesn't hate her because he'll let her if her brother's dead. And then the daughter says like, "Oh, okay. So do you forgive me for calling you a pervert?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgive." And he's like, "What?" Like what? Because she called the older brother a pervert, right? Which is him. But uh, it's like she's pretending that she doesn't know he was her older brother because she's really smart. She's pretending uh so that she can reveal his true intentions, right? Because if he said like, "Oh yeah, you can come along with us," right, instead of following your older brother, because that would be like taking advantage of her. Like that's why he hid his identity. But like by acting oblivious, she confirmed that he was just hiding his identity because uh, he was doing the right thing, right? Not because he wanted to trick her or anything. So through that, she pretty much like forgives him for all like whatever, like hiding the panties and stuff, being a pervert. Like I was like, oh, he's not actually not that bad. He's like he's a good guy. He's a good guy. That's what she. That was that's the yeah. That's what happens. And she sees him off happily with a smile, and they go off. And I thought that was a pretty great scene. I was like, oh wow, like she knew all along. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Misdirection, misdirection. This is employed multiple times in the book. It's taken advantage of its like literary style where they misdirect you, and I like it. I like it. I can give more examples, but it's later on in the book, so we'll get to that. So, okay, afterwards, um, Rudius, the main character, and the gang, he's with Eris, the daughter of the noble that he was uh, assigned to tutor. Right? He was going to go off to this far off city and then tutor this noble's daughter called Eris, which is like this hot-headed red-haired, like warrior girl who's like 2 years older than him and like really violent and unruly. And then they gradually grow closer over time and stuff and yada yada. But then they got displaced in the. Oh shit! This player's way. What the fuck is he? Okay, there's three of them. There's three of these motherfuckers. Are they rushing me to the left? Okay, I'm in a really bad position right now. I don't feel like I can use much cover. This dude's right here. He's just shuffling around waiting for me. Like he's right in this. He's like switching his attachments on and off and stuff. Like
It's kind of fucked up what you did to my friend there. What did you do to my boy?
I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya.
Come on, pussy boy. Come on inside.
Yeah, bro. There's like two entrances and you're holding them with your buddy. Like I can't move inside.
I'm holding a goddamn thing, bro. I'm just trying to heal up. Come on in. It's a little party.
Okay, I'll give it a little peek, a little peekaboo, peekaboo.
You can literally hear me coughing up a storm right here. Just come on in. Bro, you literally hear me coughing up a storm. Just come on in.
Okay. This guy's an idiot. Okay, his buddy's down the hall though. I have to be careful. Wait, did I kill him? Did you just die? Is that it? Wait, that's all three of them. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's it. That's actually it. What? Okay, yeah, it's a bunch of little teamies, bro. They're level 4. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, they got some sick gear though. MPX? I think they got these off of rogues or something though. It's like rogue looking gun. Ay ay ay. Should I just wear this instead? Yeah, I can do some insurance fraud here. I'll put this in here. Chop the banshee off. Put this on. Put this on. Shot that. Put this on. That's insurance fraud right there. And a half mask? Oh my god. I'm gonna kiss these guys. I'm gonna give them a smooch. A little smooch. Another half mask? Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna make out with these guys. Okay, yeah, no, these guys farmed raiders. That's why they have these weapons. Um, yeah, how do I don't need the ammo or the bandages. I'll put these in here. I want the armor though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like, how's this rig? Tier 4, not bad, not bad. Wish they had a bigger bag though. These guys' bags are so tiny. Okay, you know what? I'll take the guns and then I'll sell the guns and then buy armor and stuff with it instead. Also, I think taking this rig is better. Okay, yeah, I'm loot gobbling a little bit too much here, but okay. Take both their guns. There we go. Now we run to the damn extract. Where were we, expo? Okay, what was I saying? Um. Oh yeah. So, Eris, Rudius, and Ruigerd is the third member of the party. Ruigerd is like this demon that's taking care of them because he likes children. Okay, not like that, but because he's like a protector of children because he's a warrior. You know, it's like he's like that's my duty. That's my duty as a warrior. I must protect children. And then so he's taking them along back to their hometown, across the world pretty much. And he's like super super strong, and and they're helping him out because he has like a really bad reputation because his tribe that he's a part of killed a lot of people in the human demon war in like a really brutal way, so everyone fears their tribe. So he's like they're like helping him and then he's helping them and it's all sweet and stuff, and they're a trio of three. So they're heading to uh back to their hometown, and they're almost there, like after this what like 3 year long journey. Like he got teleported when he was like 12, the main character, and he's now like 15 pretty much. Actually no, he's like 14. Actually I completely forgot, but like actually yeah, no, he's 13. He's 13. And he was teleported when he was like 11. Okay. And once they get almost to the hometown, they pass through this like mountain pass. Because there's a mountain range, and then they have to go through this passage. And then there they meet the dragon god Orsted. Okay, now this is a turning point because the main character, up until now, he's been taking advice in his dreams from this entity called the Man God. It's like it's pretty much one of the gods of this world that's like personally giving him advice. He doesn't know why. He thinks he's very suspicious, but every time he gives him advice, it turns out well. So he's been following this Man God, and the dragon god Orsted, while he's walking by them, he leaves them be, like at first, right? But he's like, he looks at Rudius and he's like, this guy's really strange. Like, I can't figure out who he is. Usually, like, I know who these people are, but like, this guy's weird, you know? Right? And then, uh, and then Orsted says something like, "Have you ever heard the name Man God?" And then the main character, without thinking, is like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. You know him too?" Like, and then the main character gets like almost killed. Like the Dragon God pretty much is the strongest person in the world at the moment. So they get into a fight with him. The main character like puts up a little bit of a fight, but he pretty much gets absolutely annihilated and almost dies. But then at the last moment, the Dragon God doesn't kill him. Like he decides, like, okay, actually, maybe it's not worth killing this guy. So he leaves him be. And after that, uh, okay, the reason I'm mentioning this part is because I feel like the fight scene was written so well. Like compared to the anime, it happens in like what, like 10 minutes, right? But the thing is, in the book, it's like everything's described and you're seeing what the character's thinking, and like you can imagine it yourself with like extra production quality in your head. Well, not really. It's kind of lower production quality because because you see things fuzzy in your own head. But it's like you have the freedom, right? Right. And I don't know. It just felt so much more hype and aura. As ridiculous as that sound, it had like so much more aura. The fight, when you actually understood like what was happening, right? Because in the anime, like yeah, they have a bit of monologuing, but it's like you don't really get the true gravity of like what's happening. Like the main character is like put a scratch on the dragon god, like the god, like he's the strongest guy, he's like, and then the dragon god's like stopping his magic, and it's like so much aura, like okay, it's kind of ridiculous, but that's basically what, but yeah, anyways, uh they go through that, and the gang almost dies, like they all get pounded by this dragon god man, and after that they get away and they make it to the refugee camp at last, and then they have like this heartfelt goodbye with Rugerd, the demon, and it's just like I don't know. I don't remember this part in the anime, but it's like when you read it, it's so much more emotion, Like these goodbye scenes, especially. I found the same for another visual novel I read. It's called Steins Gate. Uh, it's like the epic moments are more epic, but like the emotional moment when they like say goodbye to one of the characters, it's just like when you read it out and like their feelings and stuff, it's like, damn, damn. It's like, oh, my heart, like. So yeah. Um, and then what else? Oh yeah. So after that, they reach the refugee camp after saying goodbye to the demon friend, who sets off. He's like, okay, I must continue my journey of restoring honor to my clan. Like, goodbye, my friends, And they see him off, right? And it's like, we'll meet again one day. And I really hope they meet again. Like, oh my god, it will be so peak. It will be peak if they like later on in the series, maybe like one of the final books. It's like this. They're facing down one of the evil gods, and then Rugier comes in and he's like, "We meet again," like, "Hello, Rudius," and then, oh my god, absolute cinema. I'll be like, absolute cinema if they do that. They should. Like, if they don't, they're stupid. Like, that's okay. Anyways, after that, um, they learn that pretty much Eris, the girl he's escorting back to her homeland and was tutoring before, yeah, she's royalty, right? And pretty much her whole family died. Yeah, oops. Like in the incident, her parents got teleported somewhere dangerous and then they died. And her uncle, actually no, her grandfather, the one who raised her, yeah, he was executed for blame of the incident happening. Right, keep in mind this is like a natural disaster, quote unquote, kinda, and the people needed like relief, like a scapegoat, pretty much. So they executed him to blame for the incident. And yeah, she's like pretty much the only member of royalty for the specific family that controlled the region of their hometown left, and that she's like rightfully kind of down in the dumps, like really, really sad type of stuff. And the main character, okay, the main character goes to bed, and yeah, pretty much they bang. Like, okay, she comes in, and then she's like, uh, yo, like, you know, it's I turned 15 recently. Okay, like by the way, 15 is like the adult age in that world. It's like there's three milestones, 5, 10, 15, and then 15 is the last one. Right? That's the culture. So she's like, oh yeah, I turned 15 recently, like, oh, let's do it, basically, right? And he's like, no, no, I don't want to take advantage of you, like in this vulnerable situation, And so he's hesitating, right? And this is like a major moment of character growth, right? Because before, when he was, I don't know, like 10 years old, like he was doing constant advances on her, right? And it's like acting very inappropriately, right? Trying to take advantage of the situation that he's put himself in, that he was put into. But now it's like he has all the power in the world to do whatever he wanted with her, and then he chooses not to because he doesn't want to like take advantage of the situation. And it's like, it's like so much growth. For a normal person that would be like common sense, but like for this guy, it's like, it's like this guy, he's grown, like he's come such a far way, right? And then after that, um, she pretty much like convinces him anyways. Like uh, yeah, she just acts like she's like, um, she expresses her sincerity in wanting, like, to spend the night with him, and then he eventually like accepts, and they go at it for, and there we go. That's his first time, and when he wakes up, she's gone. Yep, she's gone. Like, so basically, she's decided that um like he's such a great person and he's like so amazing, right? And then she's fallen in love with him, and like she thinks she can't keep up with him. Because from her perspective, it's like he fought against the gods and survived, and he taught her like everything about magic and tutored like her about math and stuff, and he guided her back safely to her hometown. Like he's amazing, right? And she can't possibly like compare to him, right? So she's like, okay, I have to like go to the swordsman like training far off, like in a far off land, and then like better myself, like so I can be worthy of being with him. Like, so she made that decision, and when she makes that decision, she doesn't let him know before she leaves because she knows he's like really good with his words, right? So he might convince her to not go, and he probably would have, but yeah, she knows that she needs to do this pretty much, and so she just leaves in the middle of the night after writing a short letter. And the problem is that she's not very good with words. So after she writes the letter, uh, he misunderstands the letter, right? When he wakes up, he reads it and he's like, "Oh, so she dumped me," like she left me because she thinks I wasn't enough. Right? That's what he misunderstands for the letter. When in reality, like she thinks like he's so great. Like she literally in her thoughts, it's written in the book. Like she's like, oh, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna have his kids, and then we're gonna live happily ever after. And then this guy, he reads the letter and he's like, oh, okay, so she dumped me. Like I'm not enough. Like damn. And then he's like, okay, so now the main character is depressed. Like he just spent all these years with this girl, and he thought like they were finally together, and then now she just leaves him like right out there, right out of the blue, right? And he thinks it's because like he hasn't changed enough or something from his past self and all that. So oh my god, I'm not wearing a helmet. Oh lord. Okay, I mean, yeah, whatever. Okay, so after that, uh, wait, I'm not. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, I have the other guy's weapon. This isn't my gun. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Wait, I think I had a clan specter or whatever. So after she leaves, he's like down in the dumps, and this is a difference between the anime and the light novel. In the anime, there was that last episode that I showed where it's like he's refusing to do work, right? He's like reminiscing about his past. Well, not reminiscing. He's like thinking about his past like it's a bad thing, like he's remembering it that he doesn't want to remember, right? And while he's doing that, um, we get a chip out through his memories, like why he is the way he is, and then it ends off with a flashback of his mother, like watching over him and like taking care of him in the home back when like before the disaster happened, pretty much, right? And then he pretty much recognizes her love, I think, something like that. Like he remembers how much like his family mattered, and he makes the decision to get up, like get up and do what's needed, right? Like go look for his mother who's still missing after the teleportation incident, and like finally, like change from how he acted before, right? Because it's kind of like addictive. Okay, I actually don't know what that word means, but I think that's the correct word in this situation. Like before in his life, he would have just stood up in bed, doing nothing, like not helping anyone, and just like rotted away. And he was looking like he was about to do that again, but then he makes a change, right? Because he's like he feels the love of family, and it's like oh my god, and then they play the opening in the ending, and it's like all cinematic and stuff. It's like oh, it's like so oh, it's such a good scene. It's such a good scene, and after that, he gets up and goes off in his journey. But in the light novel, none of that happens. None of that happens. Like he's down in the dumps, but he still does the work. Wait. Nice. Okay, I think I'm schizo. Okay, there's a slight chance I'm not schizo, and I actually just heard someone, but yeah, I think I'm going schizo. It's whatever. Okay, so basically, in the light novel, none of that happens. He still does the work that he needs to do in the refugee camp, regardless of him feeling down. But he's just like, he just feels really empty. And then he reminds himself like, oh, I gotta go search for my mother. And then he goes off and does that. Like, it's so anticlimactic. I know they added it in the anime because they needed like a cinematic moment to pretty much end the series, right? Because it's not a guarantee that they make a new season, right? Because it's based off the success of the series, so they have to end it like a neat package. So they added that. There's footsteps. I think it's a scav. I can't risk it though. I have to take it down like as a PMC. Oh fuck! Is that? I think those are players. I have a really bad scope for like tapping them from this range. Oh, those are actually scavs. Okay, thank God. Oh my God. This scope is so short. Yo, I'm not even here to fight scavs. I'm just here to do my quest and bail. Like. But yeah, basically none of that happens. And then he sets off on the journey because he's like, oh yeah, my mother's in danger. I'll go do that. And it's like, man. And then so afterwards, he sets off to the northern territories to go search for his mother. And okay, this is where the anime ends, right? And the light novel begins. Well, actually, no. I mean, the anime caught up by now, like way, way back. But back when I first watched the anime, this is where it ended off. And the reason I didn't watch the next season was because, um, I heard that the animation quality dropped for the second season. Also, the arc. People were calling it online the erectile dysfunction arc, right? And you know, they're kind of it's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of like super true. Like it's literally the erectile dysfunction arc. Like that's the main conflict almost. Not really. Like not literally, of course. It's not literally about erectile dysfunction. Like that's the main source of the conflict. It's like this emotional conflict from the main character. And I thought that's so ridiculous. I'm not watching this season. Like the first season was so perfect in my eyes that I was like, you know, I don't want to ruin my image of this show with this like second season if it's reduced animation quality and such a strange, ridiculous premise. Like, I'm not gonna watch it. But now I'm gonna read. Yeah, I'm reading it right now through the arc, and I'm not finished yet, so I'm not gonna describe it because I don't know the conclusion and like where everything's leading up to. But so far, I think it's pretty great. Like it's like okay, I see why people complain it's a harem, right? Uh, this is technically a harem, but not really. Like, it's like it's like watching. I mean, it's like reading Song of Saya for the romance. It's like, bro, like, there, it's there, but in no way is that the main point of the story. Like, it's not. It's the horror. It's the atmosphere, right? It's the music, and then, I mean, the main couple is technically a romance, but like that's not really the main point. I mean, maybe it is, but like that's pretty much the closest analogy I can think of. Um, right? Because reading Mushoku Tensei for the harem, it's like kind of ridiculous. Like you're reading some of the best world building in anime, not really anime, is in light novels, and some of the best fantasy like of the Japanese medium for a harem. Like, are you? I mean, whatever tickles your pickle, you know, like, but it's not a harem. It's not. And but yeah, this MC meets like another girl after that ending from the anime, and he does another little journey and whatever. I'll describe it later. But basically, yeah. Uh, where am I extracting? Hammercom checkpoint. Power station VX. Oh yeah, I'm looking for the third mini boss. It's like I completely forgot why I was even here. Okay. What else do I need to do here? Oh yeah, whatever. Okay, so yeah. What else do I say about the series? Oh yeah, bro. I feel like what do I say? What do I say? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. Hmm. Maybe the pros and cons, the good and the bads. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. What's good about the series? Okay, the characters. I feel like the characters are like so memorable and like they're entertaining to watch. Like most of them. I didn't really like Rouge, the warrior guy, but like by the end, like I liked him when he was leaving, because then it was like so emotional. I was like, oh man, Rouge, Rouge. But like while he was there with the gang, I was like, oh, this guy is like so boring. Like, what do you mean? But yeah, in general, the characters were all very memorable. Like the girls are all charming. Okay, that's a little bit sus, because they're because most of them are like pretty young, but like they're written in like a cute way, like in a romance novel type of way, where it's just like I don't know, you root for them, right? It's like it's like when you see your daughter, uh, and then she has like a crush on a kid in elementary, and you're like, oh, like young love, like that's so sweet. I remember when I was like that. That kind of it's like it's very sweet. And what else? The pros. There's no problem with the pros. No, I feel like an issue with light novels is the fact that since it's originally Japanese and then we translate it into English by like whoever translators, it's like the quality of the writing can vary. I don't know. Like I've read before this light novel called Classroom of the Elite. I mentioned it. The prose was high key pretty ass. Like the writing itself, as in what happens in the story, is good. Well, I wouldn't say good. It's hype. It's junk food. But the sequence of events was pretty nice. But the writing, in terms of the words used to describe the situation, was so like infuriating. It was like intelligence insulting, almost. And it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And yeah, the pros in Mushoku Tensei, all good, all good. I like it. It flows smoothly. More than Western novels, I can read this series a lot quicker because I don't know. When I was reading a Western novel, it's like the language they use is like a bunch of speed bumps. It feels like, right? Like they're constantly throwing in these words where like, oh, and then the descriptions, it's like super vivid, but like also kind of vague. So you're unable to really understand like what the situation is actually, and you're kind of left with like, oh, you know, and it's hard to go through it in a decent pace and get to the story. That's what it feels like at least. But with Mushoku Tensei, it's a light novel, right? Designed towards the lighter, younger audience. So it's just nice and chill. Reading, nice and chill reading experience. Okay, what's bad about the series? Okay, I wouldn't show this to my parents. That's what. Like, bro, you can tell it's written by a dude. Like, it's just super, super obvious. Like, you have these characters where it's like, oh yeah, so like she's a warrior, and she's like a cat girl, right? She's a cat girl, warrior with like 6-pack abs and big tits, massive, massive, right? You got characters like that, right? So it's kind of like, it's not high fantasy. It's no Lord of the Rings. It's definitely at that Japanese like, I don't know, otaku influence, if you know what I mean. Like the weeaboo scent to the series, definitely. But I like that kind of thing. I like that kind of thing. It's no problem for me, but like for others, it's definitely avoids. It makes other people avoid the series. But like, yeah. I mean, do you really grow out of these things as a man? Like when you're 25, I don't think so. When you're 30, perhaps. But yeah, to it's definitely limited to a younger audience. Limited, right? Because there are series like I don't know, Violet Evergarden. Right? I watched that thing when I was 12, and I can still watch it with like full enthusiasm when I'm like 40 probably. Right? It's got that. It's pure. It's pure. Mushoku is not pure. But yeah. What else? Holy, I'm running across the entire world here. I sure hope I don't get sniped. Okay. So anyways. What else is fat? Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I guess sometimes it's a bit of a slog in terms of like it feels formulaic, you know? Like, oh, they're an adventure party, they accept the task, they, they go out, do the job, you know, and then things happen. Wow. Like sometimes there are parts when reading where it's like, yeah, it just feels a bit generic, but it's few and far between. Like eventually, quite quickly, like within a chapter, it'll probably get something like really interesting, right? Like, oh, um, the monsters were actually like stronger than they thought, and then the main character has to make a decision. Like, is he gonna run with the rest of the group, or is he gonna like stand back and save them? Like, stand his ground like a warrior, you know? And then like with the dilemmas and all that, you know, like it makes it interesting. But at first, there are where parts where it feels slow. And then what else? Hmm. What could be bad about it? Yeah, I think like the biggest thing getting in the way of the series not being like really mainstream is that it's kind of inappropriate in terms of like its content. Right? It's kind of like it's part of what's its charm though, you know? It's like you can't just get rid of it. It's part of what it is. But like for example, Demon Slayer, it's just literally perfect mainstream material. Like it's traditional Japanese aesthetic, right? Like kids can watch it, adults can watch it. Like there's minimal fan service. It's like super high budget. The story's really simple and easy to follow. Like it's perfect. But like Mushoku, it's really big also in Japan. It's really big, but it it's held back by definitely like you ain't showing this to your grandpapa, bro. You ain't. So yeah. Um, what else? I guess my favorite parts. Yeah, so my favorite part is I think it's definitely the anime only part where he gets up again after remembering his mother, and then also the part where he reunites with his father. Like that whole what happens during that. Because yeah, it's just like it has the most emotions. I feel like that's what I judge things based off of. Emotion. Right? Whether it be sadness or hype or whatever. It's the emotion that matters. And those two bought the most. I think a third is probably the fight against the Dragon God Orsted because of like the desperation. You can feel it, you know. It's uh, like his friends are like they're dying, and he's dying too, and he has to do his one last strike, like his last hope, you know, uh, even though his lungs are like shattered and bleeding, and he's like coughing up blood, and he's about to die. He's still throwing off his spells and like putting up like a little bit of a fight against like a literal god, and it's like wow, so much aura. Okay, it's not really aura, but it's pretty high. It's pretty high. What else? Um, a weapon case? What? Wait, did I just what? Did I just pick up a weapon case? What was that? Oh my. Oh wait, no. That's just. I thought that was like a hideout item. That's for a quest. Okay, so. Oh boy, I better get to. Okay. Yeah, I better get to the destination really quick. Or I'm gonna starve. I'm gonna starve. Okay, so yeah. What else can I say? Do I recommend you read it? Hmm, that's a good question. I think yes. Like, it's definitely worth your time. But I will say that it doesn't. It's like fine wine. Okay, not really, but in the beginning, it's good. I like it. Like me personally, I like the beginning, but it's a lot of world building. Like he's just like explaining the spells or whatever, and it's like discovering like what's around him. You know, setting the stage basically, right? And then there's like a little bit of family drama. Like it's quite slow in relative terms to like what usually happens in stories. Like it's mostly just him growing up as a child, and then there's like that incident with the maid and his wife and his father, right? Like all that at the end. That's pretty much the main conflict, and also like him with his childhood friend a little bit the shenanigans. But other than that, it's not much. And then book two is definitely like when you should actually judge the series, because that's like when it really spreads its wings, right? Like he's sent off by his father to this uh, distant place, and then that's like when the journey starts. Like he meets the girl, he meets the main girl, and well, not the main girl, a main girl. Yeah, it's a harem, but uh, that's when the story starts up for real, I think. And hmm, what else? I don't know. I feel like it appeals. You haven't watched many animes. I mean, you like anime. You've watched some, but I feel like you don't really know the tropes, the the typicals. You know, I don't know if this will get in the way or not, but I don't know. Actually, never mind. It won't get in the way. It won't. It's accessible and enjoyable without that. Because the main character still acts interestingly, even if you don't understand what he's referencing or like why. But yeah, let's see here. Wow, money. Okay, I completed 2 tasks with that one. This one. And what else? This one. Bows. Okay, we'll hand this over. Hmm. Yeah, I think I gotta go eat something soon. No space. Oh, we're loaded with guns. We gotta sell some of these. Okay, so the thing with Tarkov is that some attachments are like legitimately more valuable than the actual gun. So you kind of have to check these things. Like you don't want to sell a gun with some kind of like super good attachment accidentally. Like okay, this flash hider I don't think is very valuable. Like the stats aren't that good. Yeah, it's like we could sell it with the we could sell it all in one go. How many offers do I have? 4? 64. Yeah, I'm never using this, so I can sell that. Like these EOTechs, like if you want to buy them usually, I think it's like 50k. Oh, actually it's way cheaper. But yeah, should I just I think I should just take these off and then sell these. Also, what? Ultra Scout Light. Take that off. DDM lock. 45. See, look at 45k for a DDM lock. Wait. 145. How much is that? 145 x 143. That's 20k. Okay, this is like 19k. Okay, you know what? I'll just take these off and then I'll use it for myself. Like, it's no biggie. I don't need to sell them. I'll take out the flashlights though. I want those for myself. Okay, I'm legitimately out of stuff to say now, so I'll sign off.